these shrimp. I'm just gonna pop the tails off. I'm gonna just kind of do some small pieces of this. So that's for the spicy shrimp roll. As I said, we had some pieces of the tuna that weren't quite great. So, this is probably my sharpest knife. And you'll see as I'm cutting this, you can just see the sinew in it. Sometimes you'll scrape this with a spoon to get it off and make a tartare.
So is that what they use in like spicy tuna roll?
You bet. So that is your cross utilization of fish that's not quite pretty enough to put on your plate when you buy the nigiri or the sashimi. And then I would kind of do the same thing with this hamachi or yellowtail. So I find that this works much better for a tartare. So when you're having a sushi party, unless you can get the guy at the fish market to cut you that nice centerpiece, you have to kind of have a second use for these pieces. So it looks like we're gonna make 3 rolls, whether we do a hand roll or something, maybe 4 rolls. So spicy tuna, spicy shrimp, typically sriracha or some kind of chili paste, but I always have sriracha mayonnaise in my refrigerator. So I think this makes a really nice. So for the California roll in sushi restaurants, they usually use QP mayonnaise and either sriracha or chilies or cayenne. It just depends on which restaurant you go to. So I'm gonna put some of that on the hamachi. We'll do spicy, all spicy. Because we're spicy people here. See if the rice is doing good. The good thing about this rice cooker is it pops and tells me when the rice is done. There's a little sensor that tells you when enough water has evaporated. I bought some store-bought seaweed salad that goes well. Gosh, and then you and I have our drinks. Because you talked to me like I was stupid because I didn't know what Calpaco was. And we don't know what mine was. Ooh, that's funky.
It smells.
There's cherry and coconut in it for sure.
Ooh, it smells like a Jolly Rancher.
It tastes like a Jolly Rancher. Oh, this is good. This is almost as healthy. This is no fun.
This one's funky.
Yeah, Jolly Rancher is perfect for what that is.
Yeah.
You were saying that you weren't sure what wasabi kind of is. So wasabi's a big stalk. It looks similar to that, like a piece of ginger, except it's long. It's like a big stalk. And then you grate it on a really fine, like almost like a sanding tool. Yeah, this is probably not real wasabi because it was like $5. Mm-hmm. Real wasabi stalks are like $35 a pound. And I only know a few places that really use real wasabi, and it's usually typically on some kind of sashimi dish that there's just a tiny bit of it grated and put on top. I know that Sushi Ronin does it and Sushi Den. Toshi loves to use it there. But it is super expensive. So you don't need much of it. It's the horseradish. Wasabi is horseradish, and it's not very much vinegar. You just need to moisten it. So I put a couple of drops in here. I'm gonna stir. And the liquid kind of helps turn it green. There's my wasabi. So the horseradish, this will be super spicy, just like the ones you get in the sushi restaurants. This is what 90% of all sushi restaurants use, is a powdered wasabi. And the vinegar helps cut through that spice. So I'm just gonna cut my avocado. Ooh, super ripe, which is great. Let's see, we haven't popped over here. Yes, we have. We're finished cooking here. So, take a bite. Tender, good, Sushi rice, you don't want al dente when you're making it. You want it to be a nice soft rice. And then you can check on this. This one's, I think, almost done too. No, that's a few minutes behind. That one's still really firm. I probably need to add a little water to that and keep cooking. But since this one is done, pretty perfect, I'm going to take the nice little spatula that came with it out the top. So there's two things you add to sushi rice. So right now it's pretty sticky, but you can see like I can separate the grains, right? But I think the thing is we want to start to develop the starch so that it gets really sticky. So what you want to add to it is, sushi rice is usually vinegary and sweet. A lot of people use sugar in theirs. I'm not a believer in sugar. I've not made a ton of sushi rice, but I prefer mirin. So it's about a quarter of a cup, I think. I'm winging it, but you can taste it as you do it. And a little bit less of the mirin. And then what you want to do is take your paddle and cut through it. And if the rice is warm, it will absorb this because the rice is still kind of cooking. As I stir this, you can see this is now getting a lot more sticky and coming together more as a mass as I do it. Like as I flip it, it's kind of staying together. Now we give it a taste. And it's sweet and sour, and that's kind of what you're going for, like almost, as Adam would say, fermented. I'm gonna just pop this back in my rice cooker. So now, we're ready to go. So there's a couple things. So if I was going to do something super simple, this is one of the things that I love, like in the restaurant, like when we're reopening French 75, because we've been doing so much of this at Mizuno lately, a lot of Asian flavors, is like a donburi bowl, so like peasant sushi. I'm not a sushi chef, I'm not Japanese. I think I can make some pretty good rice, and I know I can buy super quality fish. I'm probably gonna not cut it as well, but so donburi is basically just like a nice scoop of rice in a bowl. So you would just take your nice little scoop of rice, put it right in the bowl. So I would start with, and you can see this octopus was kind of cut right off, so the head would have been here. So I'm gonna kind of cut right along the grain, try and get thin. I've got my octopus, and then I'm just gonna cut right along the tuna, the salmon. And I'm going pretty thin, but you know, like 1/8 of an inch, something along those lines. And this is super nice tuna. Put that there. And then I have my hamachi. I want to make, that's kind of like the star of it. And then to finish this off, a little like, I don't think this is traditional, but I like a little seaweed salad. Radish sprouts. We also need sushi. One of the beautiful things about that is it's so pretty when it comes to you. So I think you need to make it kind of look pretty. And then if you're an avocado person, Tuck some avocado in there. A nice bowl of soy sauce. I would put a little wasabi, maybe right on the side so people can see it. And then you could take that and mix it in with your fish. I happen to love sesame oil. I'm just gonna put a teeny drizzle of sesame oil over this. If you don't love sesame oil, then just definitely don't do it. But that would be like a nice donburi bowl or peasant sushi. Something you could do that's super fun and super easy.